NCIS. New episodes return in February, available for streaming on Paramount Plus. And I'm a huge fan of our next guest, who I'll stop talking about as if he's not sitting here listening to me introduce him. He got the memo to finally appear on the program.
Yes.
Gary Cole. Good to see you, man. How are you?
Great. Good
Fresh off of the mid-season finale where it aired just last night. 20 shows a year. My goodness, the 500th episode is airing in March.
Yeah.
And you joined season 19, correct?
Yes.
That's what you did?
Yeah, I began in 21.
21.
Yeah.
My
Fall
gosh.
of 21.
Airs Tuesday nights as part of CBS's first ever NCIS Tuesday, with the Origins at 9 and Sydney at 10 and NCIS at 8 Eastern Time. You having fun doing it? You
I
having a
am.
good time?
Yeah. It's I mean, when you show up there, you know that things have been here for a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of coming out of the walls. You know, I still got posters from 2003.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, is it a show or an institution? It's kind of both. But I am. I really enjoy everybody on the show. And you know, we have a good time doing it.
You move things around. Something from Jag is still hanging out there?
Yeah, who knows what kind of ghosts are lurking back in there, you know, from past episodes. Yeah.
Ghosts of NCIS past.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And again, it's available on Paramount Plus streaming, which is what we're all about here. You, sir, are a diehard Cubs fan? Do we call
I am
you
a diehard Cubs fan, yes.
But your first Cubs game was?
My first Cub game would have been probably in 1965. And I do remember that probably around there I also saw a no-hitter by Jim Maloney. I think it was in 1965.
Jim Maloney's no-hitter. Not a lot of people talk about that
No,
one.
they don't. I don't know that it was that memorable. I remember it because I was like waiting for when is something going to happen. But my dad assured me that it was something good going on. So
August 19th.
Not for the Cubs, but
August 19th, 1965.
There you go.
Is that right? 65
wow. Against the Reds.
So you were there. Gary Cole was in it. Gary Cole was in attendance.
I was there.
Years and years and years ago, when I was on my first iteration with ESPN, I was covering spring training, and so was my, at the time, girlfriend, who's now my wife. And we were in Phoenix, just at a driving range, just hitting some golf balls. And the other person on the driving range who came up to us and started talking to us about what you should get married and have children, which was always interesting when your girlfriend standing there, was Ernie Banks. I will never forget that in my like, oh my
Never
God,
heard that
like,
before.
what are you doing here, Ernie Banks? And he's like, what are you two doing here? And we're just explaining what we're doing. And
what
Ernie
was the
Banks.
conversation that preceded that? Was there much of a conversation?
No, it was
Because
just
you
like, I'm
get
like,
right to it.
He just came right to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you Ernie Banks? And he goes, yeah. And who are you? And we introduced ourselves. He goes, oh, you should get married and have children. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That's a new meaning of Let's Play 2.
I was going to say.
You know what I mean? But it was just so cool. So Ernie was your guy, I imagine, growing up?
Ernie Banks, Billy Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth between those two guys.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then when they won the World Series, what did that mean for you?
It was disorienting, actually. I mean,
love that.
it was. It was like,
Disorienting.
no, I mean, I remember I didn't get to watch the game live. I was shooting Veep. We were shooting late, but of course we were following it. Kevin Dunn, who was also on the show, another diehard Cub fan.
Okay.
So we knew it was happening, and I think the game ended actually before we finished shooting, but it was late. I mean, it was like, you know, in the East Coast, it was probably like 11:30 or something.
Was this Game 7 you're talking
This was
about?
Game 7,
Oh,
and then I went and I
goodness.
knew the outcome, but I went home and watched it alone in my living room and just was like, I didn't know what. My head exploded.
Disorienting.
Yeah, but when they literally the next day you wake up as a Cub fan from for a lifetime and you go, who am I now?
That's right. Now what?
What is my identity now? I mean, I can't mock them anymore.
Well,
So.
Chris is a Red Sox fan.
Yeah,
You probably
same
had
here.
that after your
Yep.
first
Yeah.
Red
Sure.
Sox championship.
Sure.
Like
No.
the dog that caught the car finally.
Yeah, I
Now-
mean,
now
thrilling,
what?
great. I mean, joyous too, but also just like, wow,
Right.
this happened? Okay.
Well, now you have Southern California, Harvard Westlake's finest Pete Crow Armstrong,
Oh, my
PCA,
God.
doing some
Wow.
wild things now too, right?
Wow. There's not a ball he can't get to, it seems.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
So
And
Maybe we make
sometimes
it the
that
next
puts
one.
the other outfielders in danger, because all of a sudden he's showing up in places where no other human would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
But,
did the first pitch, correct? You did.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
How'd we do?
We did okay.
Oh, look at you.
There he is.
Look at you
Okay.
with the shades and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually
Nice form.
I was a little intimidated by it, so I worked for about a month. I threw for about a month.
Yeah, you did.
I just went to various diamonds and just tried. The object was just get it there on the fly.
Do not be YouTube famous.
No,
That's the key.
no bouncing in.
Yeah.
No, so I did a Tim Wakefield.
Okay. Nice little.
But it got there. Clark the Cub received it.
Clark the Cub.
Yeah, and
you do
he
that?
didn't even have to move much. He did one like.
What a relief.
But it was okay.
Most pressure you've ever had,
Yeah,
probably.
and I actually looked better because that day there happened to be 3 first pitches,
Oh.
and they saved me for the third one because I was also going to sing the 7th inning.
Yeah.
So the first 2 guys, one guy did a like a Bull Durham like
Oh,
somewhere
no.
in Wisconsin.
Hit the mascot.
Yeah, and then the other one bounced it in twice, and then I was up, and I went, "Oh, you can't join this club."
No.
So I just did what I had been rehearsing, which is to take one step in, plant, and get it there without too
Fantastic.
much shame.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. Gary Cole here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's dive into your career if you don't mind.
Sure.
Is it true are you college roommates with John Malkovich? Were you college
I
roommates
was
with
not college roommates with John Malkovich, but I went to college with John Malkovich.
Okay.
Yes.
So you did. Which college was this?
Illinois State University.
Illinois State.
Bloomington Normal, Illinois.
The Illinois State
The Illinois
University.
State.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
And did you know you wanted to act then? Is that
By then, yes, I was. I got involved in high school. My sister was a performer
Right.
and a musician, and
Yes.
I saw her perform, so I got involved in it in high school.
Right.
I was a wannabe jock, where it was pretty certain by the time I was in my sophomore or junior year that
Yes.
my playing time was going to come to an end probably by my senior year. So I got involved in theater, and I think by the time I went to Illinois State, I kind of had made up my mind, I guess, that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in for the duration was the phrase I kept thinking of.
Okay. And then you wind up To Live and Die in L.A. was your first big, I guess, Lucas. You were in Lucas as well?
I was, yeah.
Tell me about that experience, please.
Well, I was in
It is
Lucas.
in quotes?
Yeah.
Right.
I was in Lucas. I was an assistant coach on the football team.
Mm-hmm.
I had one line, I believe, that was in the training room. I forget what the line, I think it was a 2-syllable line, like, "Come here." That was it. And then that made the cut, but then when I watched the movie, it wasn't my voice. It was someone else's voice.
What the hell?
They dubbed me. They couldn't find me, apparently, to replace the dialogue.
So did you and Charlie Sheen hang out on the set of Lucas?
I only remember Charlie Sheen, and I believe Jeremy Piven also.
Okay.
Was
Speaking
in
of
Lucas.
Chicago.
Yeah,
okay.
he was.
Yeah.
All right.
All the young, not Cusack wasn't in it, but
How did you wind up on Office Space?
Office Space was just kind of a traditional call from an agent, except for, along with the script, I got. This is how long ago Office Space was. A VHS cassette.
Nice.
Of 2 little short animations called Office Space by Mike Judge.
Yes.
And I popped those in, and they both begin with Milton sitting in his cubicle mumbling to himself. I could do this, I could do that, I could do that. And then you hear footsteps, and this Lumbergh-esque dude comes in with glasses and kind of peers over the cubicle and begins to torment Milton. And so when I watched it, I like a lot of people probably recognized that guy, as a boss I certainly had, or at least the personality of one, and I'm sure a lot of people did too.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, what am I going to do for this audition? I can't do it better than that, so I'll just do that. So I went in and tried to do my best imitation of this animation, and I guess Mike liked it. So.
You certainly did. Were you channeling any former boss of your life?
I had a boss named Buck Palmer. I worked at a place called Kinney Shoes. I don't know if anyone was Kinney Shoes.
Yeah, sure.
And it's funny because now that I think of it, Buck, and this was in the 70s. This was like 74, 73. Buck wore one of those blue dress shirts, but with the white collar. He probably had, but he had white shoes on too. I don't know if he had suspenders.
Right.
And I thought, my God, and he never raised his voice, but he was, you could tell he wasn't thrilled to be there, and he certainly wasn't thrilled that anybody else was there too, including his employees. So there was probably a little bit of Buck, but mostly Mike Judge.
Were there any memos in Kinney Shoes?
No, we didn't get memos. No? I mean, no, it was before memos. I don't think he would just, Cole or whoever he would just. Can you help them in the double pump area? He was kind of that guy. He knew it's like I guess I have the best job in this place, but that's not saying much. So,
I just love that you just channeled Lumbergh here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm like honored that you just channeled him here on the program.
He surfaces. He does.
He surfaces every now and then. Fantastic, and that's become a cult hit, right? I mean,
nobody. I mean, it when we did it,
with Jennifer Aniston and Ron Livingston and Stephen Root.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was really great. Everybody was fans of Mike, but you never know what's going to hit in a theater. And when it hit in the theater, it didn't really do well. And then we all knew something was up when people started shouting the lines across the street to us. Did you get the memo?
Right.
And I thought, well, I thought this tanked, but apparently not.
Apparently not. Gary Cole here on the Rich Eisen Show. Crazier set, Dodgeball or Talladega Nights?
Well, probably Dodgeball, although I probably wasn't witness to it because actually, Dodgeball, my work in Dodgeball was done in probably 6 hours. Me and Jason Bateman sat staring at an empty gymnasium.
No way.
No way.
Wow.
And we finished before lunch. I did more work in the recording studio afterwards, laying in all of the call of the game and other teams and stuff like that they added and cut and edited. But the especially the stuff between me and Justin, did I say Justin? Jason.
Right.
Sorry. Was done, half a day. And we did not get to see the dodgeball dancers, I regret. And we only saw that later. If we only knew, we would have stayed after lunch.
So you're saying your work on the Ocho was done in fewer than 8 hours in an empty gymnasium.
Yes, it was. Yes. Amazing. Sadly, yes. But that's movie magic as it goes. Yeah.
Were you ad-libbing? Were you and Jason ad-libbing?
No. I mean, maybe Jason was. I was not. I don't believe. I don't think I went off the rails there.
Were you channeling any announcers from your youth?
Yes. Okay. I think there was. When I went into, I read for it like twice, and I think I had some kind of a Vin Scully thing going on because I kind of talked louder and higher, but it wasn't really Vin Scully. I don't know who it was, but it was, and then because of, there's a line in Dodgeball that had to do something with, he almost mimics the "Do you believe in miracles" line from Al Michaels.
Yeah.
So I guess I looked at it as a combination of Vin Scully and Al Michaels.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the only way you should show up on the Ocho.
Yeah, right.
And so Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Now that was an ad-lib situation, right?
There was more going on there. Although I would have to say that's one of the best written things that I've done.
No kidding.
That character they had that on the page. What they like to do, what Will and Adam McKay like to do is do what they've written, get that secure, and then do freebies, and I had not done a lot of ad-libbing in films, but I wound up in films, obviously, with Will Ferrell. You're going to find yourself, without a net a little bit in that area, and he was just he's so skilled at it and I felt very confident in doing it, because the character was they had written such a great character about it. So a lot of the stuff that took place, a little bit in the cougar scene, There was more going on before he takes his car and he's going to finally drive fast. Mm-hmm. He's going to get his mojo back, and he drives straight into somebody's house. The whole lead up to starting the car, that was all ad-lib. About how do you feel now? I feel a little heat. Yeah, it must be the car, melding together with you. All of that stuff just happened. But he's just really, conscious. And he did that, obviously, in every scene in that movie.
Right. But did you do any specific ad-libs that you're proud of?
Yes. I came up with, I don't know if they were ad-libs. I went in trying, and I said, I'm going to do this. And when I talked to my grandchildren who kind of mouth off to me, and I said, you better shut up, you little pot licker, or I'll put you in the microwave. Now,
like what?
Sounds dark now, but we got through it then. But
that just came out of nowhere.
Pot liquor came from when I did a big Western in Montana. Actually played Custer, and they sent me out with this Wrangler. And we were riding around in Montana, and he would look at elk running, and he would go, look at that little pot licker go. I had no idea what pot licker meant, but it sounded authentic.
Yes.
So I used it.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I don't know if you're aware, but we have had the director Christopher Nolan on this program, mm-hmm. and I asked him what his favorite remote drop movie is, and he had never heard of the term remote drop movie. And when I explained it to him, he said Talladega Nights. And I even said, get out of here. And then this is now a drop that we use all the time.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's what he says.
Much better in an English accent. Much better. Yes.
That's what he said.
That's great.
I mean, Christopher Nolan is the biggest Talladega Nights fan, man.
I better give him a call.
There you go.
See what he's got going.
You got a good Clint Eastwood story from In the Line of Fire.
Well, that's what intimidation is like in terms of, working with somebody who's that iconic. Mm-hmm. I guess the only thing I can really remember about it is that I had to do scenes with him. A lot of Clint Eastwood movies follow a certain formula. Follow a certain formula, which is that Clint Eastwood is doing his job, minding his own business, has integrity, and there's some annoying bureaucrat who is tormenting him. Mm-hmm. That happened to be me, and there was, from a bunch of hundreds of guys running around in suits. I had to fire him in the movie. And I'm doing a scene with him, and it's as if you're doing a scene, and if he's across from me and the camera's here, and you kind of felt like, I kind of feel like, turn around and go, are you getting this? It's Clint Eastwood, okay? Right. It's Clint Eastwood. So you had to kind of dial that back and make sure that you were, staying there. Because it's easy to become a spectator at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he's Clint freaking Eastwood,
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, this has been fantastic. We'd even hit on Veep as well, which means you've got to come back, if you don't mind me already extending an invitation,
sure.
And assuming you would. It's just been a blast. I'm again, huge fan. You've given me nothing but laughs and enjoyment throughout your career to date. And I appreciate you stopping by here.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Gary Cole, everybody. Again, last night was the mid-season finale for NCIS. New episodes return on February 24th. In the meantime, just stream it on Paramount Plus. There's only 1 billion seasons for you to catch up on. And new episodes air on Tuesday, so make a note of that when new episodes come back for NCIS. Thanks, brother. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern.